even want this old, stale bag of pirate's booty? Batman, do you want it? Superman, do you want it? Guys, I'm sure there's enough to go. Okay, oh, he's not. He's not walking away from that. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, God.
Hey, I'm John.
I'm Alex.
I'm John.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're here to review the big blockbuster,
Yes.
Batman v Superman. It's
Yes.
finally here.
Woo!
We've been waiting for this day. We're going to jump right into it.
Don.
So after the massive destruction that took place at the end of Man of Steel, Batman feels like Superman is a threat to the world. He feels like he's too powerful, he's too godlike.
Gotta
and
take
he
him
feels
out.
like, if Jesse Eisenberg puts it the best way in the movie, that you can't be all good and still be all powerful.
Very nice.
And that's Batman's
Very nice.
biggest fear, and that's basically the big theme and plot of this movie.
There's a whole lot of other stuff going on in Dawn of Justice, but that's basically the core of the story.
Absolutely.
So guys, what did you think?
Well, I really enjoyed Dawn of Justice. For all of its flaws, and they're there, and you can see them, I really liked Dawn of Justice. What about you guys?
Guys, I really enjoyed Dawn of Justice. I didn't think it was as good as it maybe could have been. There were definitely a lot of problems with the script and the story and everything and how it was handled. But I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's definitely a lot of spectacle going on here. What about you, Alex?
I think that maybe it was the studio's fault and they added way too much in there, but I think the writers and the directors and everyone who put into this movie did as good of a job as they could have with what they were probably told to do.
Oh, for sure.
I absolutely love Batman v Superman. I'm completely acknowledging that this movie is flawed, and like John said, you have some script issues, but the performances, the action, the visuals, top notch, and I got to see my two favorite childhood icons collide on screen. And I think the one thing that we can all agree here is that Ben Affleck, best Batman.
Good Batman. Good Batman.
I think he's the best. That's
I think
personal.
he's a good Batman.
I don't think we've
his
seen...
performance, let me restate that. His performance was great.
The performance was great.
I have my opinion that he is one of the better Batman that we've had, but maybe an okay Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I think we saw more Batman than Bruce Wayne in this movie, and I want to see more Bruce Wayne, but I really like his Batman. I really do.
I think he fits the physique with the chiseled jaw and the bigger stature than Christian Bale. But I think Christian Bale did the Bruce Wayne a little bit.
Dawn of Justice gives us a much more visceral, violent, aggressive Batman.
Absolutely.
Which I'll touch upon in the cons.
He's a very savage fighter, and you can see that in the movie. Yeah.
Henry Cavill, he was great just like he was in Man of Steel. He really is, in my opinion, the embodiment of Superman.
I think he was the most true to the comics. He wasn't as aggressive as some of the other Supermans. He was a lot more humble and a little more remorseful because there's a lot of crap that happens that is out of his control. And he's got all the blame on his shoulders for everything that happens around him.
He's definitely a very mopey Superman a lot of the times.
Ethan, about that little thing about Mopey, he does have a reason to be Mopey.
No, of course.
A lot of things happen in this movie, and once you finish it, you'll definitely see the reason for it. Also, Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman. She exhibited the physical part of the role. I liked how she looked in the costume. She was very smooth, but she also had this very soft-spoken badassness about her.
Yes, absolutely. Which definitely shows in the movie.
I'm really looking forward to the Wonder Woman solo movie.
Yeah, absolutely. This reinforced my love for Wonder Woman.
Now, guys, what did you think about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor? Because a lot of people were worried about how he would be, and a lot of people think he didn't do that well. What did you guys think?
Well, as performance alone, I thought he performed very well. He gave a very diversified kind of show. I saw a lot of different emotions, but he played up the crazy maybe a little bit too much in that.
I would, to add on to that, I think he was trying to copy Heath Ledger's Joker, and that's not really the Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is more cold and calculated.
They definitely go a really different way with it in this movie in terms of everything, and the acting and the writing. And I don't know what I thought about it.
For the most part, I really liked his character. I liked his performance. I admittedly saw Jesse Eisenberg most of the time, but still, I liked the performance and character he gave. But more so towards the ends, I actually started to like him more because he started to be more of a Lex Luthor that I know and love.
Now let's talk about the perfect element of this movie, and that's all the action scenes, the visuals, all the looks of this movie that Zack Snyder is known for. It's perfect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cinematography is beautiful. It's very dark, brooding. So I think the one thing we can all agree on, and the best part about this movie in terms of the perfection, is the action scenes in the cinematography.
Oh yeah. It was just a huge spectacle to watch, especially the Batman and Superman fight.
Yeah. If there's one word that describes this movie, it's huge.
Yes.
Everyone can agree on that, whether you loved it or
I
hated
agree.
it. And the action and visuals all really reflect that. Everything is just so big, high stakes, in your face spectacle.
Well,
for better or for worse.
$250 million is Zack Snyder.
They weren't about to make a $250 million movie about Batman fighting Superman and make it small.
Yeah. My only caveat is the last couple scenes had a little too much CGI. They could have added some more practical effects. I'm more of a practical effects guy, but it was pretty good.
Right. Now, the biggest flaw of this movie is that it crams way too much in.
Yeah.
And that's coming from someone who really enjoyed it.
For me, personally, I thought it would be worse. From reading the reviews and things, I thought it would be a lot
I did
worse,
as well.
the cramming. And not to say that, it's still pretty cramped because they're trying to set up a new Batman. There's things about the Justice League and the plot of the movie. So it's really hard to try and get all that into one movie. But I thought it'd be worse.
I didn't. Go.
What I think happened is the studio decided, hey guys, we really need to catch up with Marvel. Marvel's
Yes.
coming out with Avengers, they're coming out with Avengers 2, and now some
we're-
other more movies.
We're just getting started.
We need to get in on
Exactly.
this.
And so they decided to maybe skip the Batman movie and just go right into it, and I think that was a bad decision.
That's my biggest con with this movie, is that it's really awkward to introduce a new Batman in a movie like this. Because Batman is a really complex character that you can go a lot of ways with. And Ben Affleck's Batman especially goes a different way than the other Batmans we've seen. And, I think he really
I would
deserves and merited to be in his
Yeah.
own movie where you can introduce him, rather than here where suddenly he's worrying about Wonder Woman and Superman and you don't really get to focus on his character and developing it.
And you touched on it a little, but I would like some explanation for this Batman's doings.
So, guys, all in all, the big moment is here.
Yeah.
Ethan,
Yeah.
what are you going to rate Batman v Superman?
Well, I've been excited for Dawn of Justice for a long time now, and coming out of it, I really enjoyed it. There were only a few things I didn't like. More so towards the beginning, it was a very strangely paced and edited movie. You mentioned that it's more like a comic book, where it's sometimes not as seamless in their transitions. I thought it didn't reflect well in the film, but I would understand it if that's where they went with it. I just personally didn't like it. But more so, everything else in the movie I loved. The choreography, the visuals, all the performances I really enjoyed. I love the newcoming actors, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jeremy Irons was in it. I really liked all the actors. So I really liked Dawn of Justice. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
I'm on the same level as you, Ethan. This movie, I've been excited for it for a long time, and it might have been a little disappointing for me. I thought it could have been better. It didn't really reach its full potential.
I wanted it to be great.
But I still had a lot of fun with it. I think that I really like Ben Affleck's Batman. I love Batfleck. The other performances are solid with some inconsistencies. But I love the action, love the spectacle, just love the whole tone of this movie. It's just so cool to see this finally actually happen on the big screen. I will say there are a lot of problems with the story, a lot of problems with the script, definitely trying to cram too much in. But all in all, this is a really fun, enjoyable action blockbuster. And that's why I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alex?
Well, as a movie reviewer, I would have a lot of gripes with this movie, but I'm also a comic book lover, so this was awesome. But the Batman v Superman portion was almost what I expected because there's only a couple outcomes that it could be. And I thought that since it would probably be maybe a quarter or maybe a half of the movie, that fight and the actual happening, what I got instead was some more cramming, and that took away from the movie. I think the action and the cinematography were great, but the CG at the end wasn't necessarily what I would have liked. So overall, I loved this movie, but I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Alright, Jonathan, what do you have to say about Dawn of Justice?
I really, really enjoyed this movie. Matter of fact, it's my new favorite DC movie, and I know that's going to spark
Just
some
wait until
controversy.
Suicide Squad.
Wait until
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, but for now,
Hopefully it's
Batman v
better.
Superman is my favorite DC movie. Had a really rich story, although crammed, I'll admit. All the performances were great. The action scenes, top-notch, fantastic. Cinematography, great as always. And it was just crazy to see my two childhood icons clash on screen. And that's why I'm going to give Batman v Superman a 4 out of 5 stars.
Have you seen Batman vs. Superman? Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below if you have. And also make sure to subscribe to this channel to get constant updates on our content. And follow us on Twitter at StubMasters. Alright, for StubMasters Reviews, I'm John.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jonathan.
Have a great day.